Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's JVation back here with you with another full flight video. We're back in P3D once again, and we are in a very special aircraft. We're not in an Airbus today, but we're in a Boeing aircraft, and it is none other than the queen of the skies, the Boeing 747-400. We're in the freighter version today. We are in a UPS Boeing 747-400 freighter, and we're here at the UPS cargo terminal at Anchorage Airport in Alaska. We will be crossing the Pacific Ocean today over to Hong Kong. It'll be around an 11-hour flight over the Pacific Ocean. So hopefully it'll be a fun flight. It is gonna be a fun aircraft to fly, undoubtedly. Nothing beats the elegance of a jumbo, especially the 747. Well, we're parked here at the cargo terminal, like I said. We are still loading in the cargo for today's flight. We have finished refueling, so let's go ahead and continue setting up the aircraft. Let's follow our flight plan first. Requested. Alright, it's ready to be loaded. And we'll wait for it to load, and it'll be complete momentarily. Okay, activate and execute. Our flight number today will be UPS 62 over to Hong Kong. Go ahead to the legs page, uplink the wind data. And load in the descent forecast winds as well. Very nice. Let's go ahead and plan our departures. We'll be departing from runway 07 left and the Koenig 3 departure. And we'll be arriving at Hong Kong. We'll be planning to approach using the ILS to runway 07 left via the Abbey 3 Alpha arrival and the Limes transition. Sweet. So here's our flight plan for today's flight. We'll be departing. So firstly, we will depart via the Koenig 3 departure over to Noddle, then the Romeo 220 to India X-ray Echo, Yankee 88 to NAC 2, Yankee 12 to Kilo Echo Charlie, Yankee 24 to Koshi, Alpha 1 to Elaro, Victor 522 to Abbey, and to our arrival. Go over to our route, and it is the same, so that's nice. GSX is telling us to close the door, so let's do that first. Okay, let's go ahead and fill in our performance page. And according to our OFP, our briefing, our reserve fuel is 15,938 pounds. So let's fill that in. 15.9. And our cost index is a very generous 320. Oh, I put in the wrong one. Our initial cruising altitude, by the way, is flight level 260, and then we will perform step climbs all the way up to flight level 320. So let's put 260 on our cruising altitude. Nice. And then we will change our step size to 2000. Apparently, on the 747 they do not have the RVSM option for the step size because it was introduced, this aircraft was introduced before RVSM measures were put in place. So what is being done is that instead of implementing that, it would have been easier if pilots just filled in 2000. So that's what we're gonna do today. So this is our takeoff performance page. And we are using a external calculator for today's flight. So this is what I'm using today. So this is our takeoff results. As you can see, our flex temperature will be 74 degrees. That's quite high. Put 74 degrees there. And we'll be using flaps 10 for takeoff and the derated takeoff 2. And also PACs and NTIs will be off. Derated takeoff 2. And we'll go over to performance page. We'll be using flaps 10. And they'll fill in the CG for us. Let's just go ahead and check if it's correct. Yes, it's 21.4. I believe boarding is, the cargo loading is completed, so let's just close the doors. Okay, so these are our V speeds that have been calculated: 165, 178, and 186. Okay, we have completed our CDU planning. Let's go ahead over up to the MCP. Turn on the flight directors, set the speed bug to V2 speed of 186, arm LNAV and VNAV. And set runway heading to 74. We will be taking off from runway 07 left. And initial cruising altitude will be 26,000. We have no ATC online today, so we can clear ourselves all the way up to our cruising altitude. So sadly, right now VATSIM has been experiencing some issues with their servers. I don't think I'm the only one. I've been reading online many other people have been experiencing issues lately with their VATSIM. So sadly, as much as I wanted to fly in the VATSIM network with this amazing aircraft, they won't be doing that. So we are all alone. But anyway, our flight will still go on, even without other pilots with us. Before we continue, let's go ahead and make sure that our overhead is set correctly. So let's check that our RS is set. Standby and APU is auto and on. APU generators are on. They still have external power connected. We will disconnect them later on. Hydraulic pumps are off. Demand pumps are on. And emergency lights are armed and guarded. Ignition switches, standby is norm, and auto start is on. Fuel pumps are off at the moment. We will turn them on later. And fuel crossfeed are as required. Window heats are on. Anti-ice is off. And let's turn on the trim air switch. And the other fan switches are on as well. Okay, our overhead panel looks good right now. Let's go over to the pedestal. Let's set mode Charlie before we go. We have no ATC today, so that's fine. Set seatbelts to auto and auto brake to RTO. And let's also set our parking brake, as they'll be removing the chocks later. Okay, let's perform the pre-flight checklist. The battery switch is on, standby power switch is auto. Hydraulic demand pumps are off. Parking brake is set. Landing gear is down. Flap lever is up, and display says is up as well. Anti-ice is off. Oxygen, let's check oxygen. Oxygen is checked, tested. Emergency exit lights are armed, and altimeters are set appropriately. So pre-flight checklist is complete. So let's go ahead and prepare for departure. So let's do the before start procedures. Flight deck door is not applicable. We are in a cargo aircraft. There is no flight deck door. Set our hydraulic demand pumps to auxiliary, the number 4. And for 1, 2, and 3, set them to auto. Fuel pumps, switch them on as required. To the main, all the main pumps at the wings and in the center tanks. There's no center tanks. Do we need center tanks? Ah yes, we need them on. Okay. LNAV and VNAV is already armed. Let's turn off the packs before we start the engines and switch on the beacon lights. Right before start checklist, hydraulic demand pump 4 auxiliary. Fuel load 316.6 check, and fuel pumps are on. APU is still on. Beacon is on. Their doors, cargo doors, I believe, are closed. And passenger signs are set. So before start, checklist is complete. Before we forget, let's release the ground power. And remove the chunks. So let's wait for the external power to be extinguished, to be removed, and then we will go for our pushback. Alright, we are going soon. Alright, let's go. Alright, pushback is complete, so let's go ahead and start our engines. We'll start engines 4 and 3 first. So, ignition and start. Okay, engines 4 and 3 are stable. Let's start engines 1 and 2. Okay, engines 1 and 2 are stable. So all engines have started. Let's go ahead and switch off the APU and set our hydraulic pump to auto. Turn on our packs, and since we have ice, let's just turn on empty ice to be safe. Let's set flaps 10 for takeoff. Let's also set our stabilizer trim. It is 7.2, so we'll be around 7. Alright, that should be good. Okay, let's also do our flight control check. Full left, full right, neutral, full down, full up, neutral, rudder, full left, full right, neutral. Sweet, flight controls are free. Let's do the after start checklist. APU selector is off, packs are on, recall, nothing. Flaps are set 10 degrees, trim is set, flight controls check, and auto brake. RTO. After start checklist is complete. We have no ATC, so let's taxi out on our own. Right, we're holding short at hotel. Holding short of runway 07 left. Let's prepare for takeoff. Let's check that the auto throttle is armed. Let's go over to transponders, set it to TARA. And exterior lights, let's assume we have been cleared for takeoff. I believe is already on. Okay. Turn on the strobe lights and wing lights. Before takeoff checklist, vital data is checked. Packs, let's turn off the packs. And cabin crew not required. So before takeoff checklist is complete, let's get ourselves out of here. Okay, we're ready for departure, so let's go ahead. Start the clock. 40%. And take off. Throttle ref. Airspeed alive.
knots.
80 knots, check. 100 knots. V1. And rotate.
Positive rate of climb.
Gear up. Wow, almost used up the whole runway there. Very nice rotation. Look at that. Nothing to see, we're in a sea of clouds now. About to start our turn momentarily. Climb thrust is set. Alright, let's start the turn. We're still hand flying right now. Set flaps 5. And flaps 1. And flap 0. Let's stay at 250 knots for now. Below 10,000. I know our aircraft wants to speed up. Still in some clouds here. Alright. You can see the horizon now. Turn on the packs and runway turn off lights can come off. Let's hand fly this thing all the way up to 10,000. Alright, wonderful departure. Very nice weather here in Anchorage today. Cold but calm day. climbing very nicely. Very cloudy too, but they're quite low level clouds, so I'm expecting that it is gonna be a calm climb. Still hand flying this thing. This thing handles like a dream. I really hope that we had ATC all the way for the duration of the journey, but unfortunately things happen, so we're gonna have to make do with what we have right now. But hopefully as we get closer to Hong Kong, VATSIM will be back online and we can have ATC for our arrival. And speaking of arrival, we are arriving at 10,000 feet. So let's turn on the autopilot soon. Okay, 10,000, let's switch on the autopilot. Landing lights can be switched off. Wing lights as well. Go back to VNAV mode and speed ourselves up. Wow. A climb speed of 360 knots is amazing. That's what the 320 cost index is giving us. Like I said, it's very generous. We'll be reaching our top of climb right around where the waypoint nodal is. We have already used up almost 9. I believe that's almost 9,000 pounds of fuel just for that departure alone. Surely this aircraft is just a beast. Gulping up fuel. But we'll definitely have more than enough for our journey. Very beautiful departure. Some hills, lakes, and the clouds as well. Amazing. Just right on the verge of overspeed. Look at that. We live life on the edge here, guys. As long as we don't overspeed, everything will be fine. I can already see the snow-capped mountains and volcanoes right up ahead of us. It's simply beautiful. Well, anyways, we are climbing nicely. We've just passed 14,000 feet, and we have a lot more ground to cover all the way till we reach Hong Kong. We still have to be crossing the Pacific Ocean. So just sit back, relax, and I'll be right with you once we're closer to our destination. Hello, welcome back. We are descending now into Hong Kong. We are on the RNF transition from the station Tango Delta, and we are making our way into the ILS approach runway 25 right at Hong Kong. Weather is not looking very good right now. It is pretty stormy right outside the airport. We have passed through some storms during our descent into Hong Kong. In the meantime, let's slow down here and extend the speed brakes so that we can descend a little faster. So this is the arrival that we are taking right now. This is the RNF transition into runway 25 right. And we are on the way to the waypoint TEDAP, at which we have to be at or above 4,500. And once we reach our initial approach fix at Runsu, we have to be at 180 knots. Pretty straightforward approach for us. And for the ILS approach, the minimums will be 223 feet, which we have already set. Let's slow down to 180 knots. And let's set flaps 1. We are connected on the VATSIM network now, so let's go ahead and state our intentions. Hong Kong traffic UPS 62 heavy, turning final runway 25 right, Hong Kong. Expecting ILS approach runway 25 right. We have a big mountain in the way. Which we'll definitely fly over. We check our speed brakes. Let's activate the approach mode. And we are now intercepting the localizer. Let's do the approach checklist. ATIS obtained, arrivals entered, recall. Oops. Alright. Recall is checked. Altimeters is set. Minimum VREF is, let's go ahead and set our VREF here, which is 148 knots. Minimum is set. Signs as required. Auto brakes is set. Auto brake 2. And landing lights are on. Approach checklist is complete. There's the city of Kowloon over to our left side. Weather seemed to have gotten a bit better as we approach the airport. Okay, we have established the ILS. Hong Kong traffic UPS 62 heavy established on the ILS runway 25 right, Hong Kong. Set flaps 10. Now let's set the gear down. Arm the spoilers and turn on the lights. Set flaps 20. And let's slow down to our final approach speed, 153 knots. Still pretty cloudy approach. Hopefully we see the runway in time. Right, flaps 30. Okay, runway in sight. Perform the landing checklist. Speed brake is armed. Landing gear down and green, flaps is full. The landing checklist is complete. Hong Kong traffic, UPS 62 heavy, short final, runway 25 right, 4 miles. Alright, let's disengage the autopilot here. And auto throttle is mine as well. The peppies are a little bit wrong. Let's try not to follow it too much.
Approaching minimums. Minimums.
Continue.
100. 50. 30. 20. 10.
Right, touchdown, spoilers, reverse. And 60 knots, idle reverse. Okay, welcome to Hong Kong. Whole flight took us 10 hours and 40 minutes. We also have some wipers here. Gonna be a long journey over to our gate, our bay I mean. Retract the spoilers and retract the flaps. Turn off our lights too. And switch off the weather radar. and start the APU. So after landing checklist, landing lights and strobe lights are off, flaps are retracted, speed brakes are down, and weather radar is off. So after landing checklist is complete. Switch off the flight directors as well. Right, APU is running. Turn on APU gen, and we can. Oops. Okay. It's weird. Is our APU running? Yeah, it's running. Okay. Let's turn off our engines. Switch off our transponder. And switch off the hydraulics, fuel pumps, and beacon can be switched off as well. Alright, shutdown checklist, hydraulic command pumps are off, parking brake is set, fuel control switches are off, fuel pumps are off, and external power, we'll connect them soon. So shutdown checklist complete. Let's connect the chocks and ground power. Okay, welcome to Hong Kong everybody. It has been a pretty fun flight and pretty interesting flight. It was a nice, calm departure out of Anchorage, and it became a pretty rainy and stormy approach down to Hong Kong. So we had the best of both worlds in this flight. It's been an amazing 10 hours. It has been a blast flying the Queen of the Skies, and I'm really happy that we managed to complete this full flight with this amazing plane. So again, I welcome everyone to Hong Kong. I hope every one of you enjoyed this flight, and I will see you in the next flight. It's J Aviation signing off. Goodbye.